So nice. So beautiful. I love this. You guys, give me a moment here, okay? It has been years. I've been waiting years, literally years, for this to come out in the US market. More so especially in gas blowback form, which is exactly what we have here today. So I just need a minute to just yeah.
Can we please start filming?
Hey, shut up! What's going on, guys? On today's episode, we are going to be finally taking a look at the VFC FAL OSW gas blowback rifle, and it has been a long time coming, so without further ado, let's get into it. The FAL was already a pretty popular and iconic platform in the real firearms world, but the OSW specifically really got popular in major media thanks to a lot of popular video game franchises such as Call of Duty, Rainbow Six Siege, Escape from Tarkov. One of my personal favorites, Ready or Not, also features it. And the common thing or feature that all these depictions have is that the OSW hits like a freaking truck, and the VFC one is no exception. Like the name suggests, this is going to be a VFC constructed airsoft gun. Here's the thing about VFC. They've been around for a very long time. They have some of the highest quality out there in terms of their construction. The cult of VFC is 100% real, and their fan base is one of the most loyal out there and dedicated to the platform. And honestly, picking this up and getting some trigger time with it, it's not hard to see why. It's good, it's solid quality. There's no player wobble between any of the components whatsoever. Now, if we're getting into the specifics, the barrel itself is going to be a CNC aluminum construction. Same thing with the handguard. It does feel really nice and actually does offer plenty of rail space for whatever sort of accessories you would want to put on there. The gas block on here is going to be 100% steel as well. Just something to keep in mind. Top monolithic rail, plenty of rail space to add with your favorite optic on here, or accessories have a nice little peck, and of course an L-can on here. Now the upper receiver itself is going to be CNC aluminum as well. However, the lower is going to be steel in addition to the trigger guard, trigger itself, and the stock is going to be also of a folding in design. Overall though, in terms of just overall feel, it feels great. It absolutely feels like a quality airsoft gun that feels well worth the money. In regards to the fire controls on this bad boy, it is going to be very familiar for all two of you FAL enjoyers out there, but for the rest of the airsoft community who are very much only used to ARs and nothing else, it is going to feel a little bit awkward, but it's nothing you can't really get used to. Starting off with the selector, it is going to be right-handed only. There's no ambi on this. The letters specifically are going to go be S, which is going to be for safe, obviously, R, which is going to be for semi, and then A, which is going to be for full auto. Why those letters? I don't know. It's lore accurate. Blame the Belgians. They're using French. It's just cursive Spanish, really. Moving on to the mag release, it's the only kind of ambi feature on here since you can kind of use it with both, but it's realistically designed for right-handed users. It's nice, it's smooth, it comes out very easily. There's no sort of like roughness you gotta apply to the magazine. It comes out nice and smooth. Then the bolt catch on here, which is going to be a little bit stiff upon usage. I actually prefer it to be a little bit stiffer on this paddle style. I don't want it to accidentally go up because it's too light, but it does wear down a little bit over time after some usage. The charging handle, lastly, I know some people were wondering whether or not it can be moved over to the right-hand side as opposed to just being left-handed. Unfortunately, it is going to be stuck on the left side. There is no ambiness on this whatsoever. It is stuck on here. Again, I don't fault the FAL for not really being ambi-friendly or for left-handed friendliness. It came out at a time when there was a right way of doing things, there was a wrong way of doing things. This is just a product of its time. The cool thing about the OSW is that it really is a modernized version of the classic FAL. You have to remember that when the FAL came out, it was wood handguards and wood stocks aplenty. That was the standard for pretty much any rifle that came out. You used a sling, you attach that, use your iron sights, just as God intended. But we live in godless times now where everything has to be super high speed and really built out. And the FAL OSW really does offer that option. With this nice, modern, sleek M-LOK handguard, you're really able to deck this out to your heart's content, despite the fact that, again, this is meant to be a high-speed gun with a very large magazine. Now, despite that being said, this is still going to have a few holdovers from the original FAL design. That, of course, is going to be both the rear and front sights, the gas block system, and the folding stock. Well, not the original stock that it came with. Folding paratrooper stocks for FALs have definitely been a thing for some time throughout the entirety of the Cold War. And for all you guys out there complaining, oh, I need it to be shorter, it's too long for my little arms, I need it to be telescopic, you're not cool enough to run the FAL, all right? One important thing to note about running any FAL is that you must be wearing Rhodesian brushstroke camo. If you are not wearing Rhodesian brushstroke camo, the gun will break on you. I'm actually wearing some underneath this table. You can't see it, but I promise you, I'm wearing them. All right, moving on to the most controversial part, the internals. Now, I say controversial because, surprise, it doesn't take VFC M4 internal components. Surprise, are we really that surprised? Guys, why can't we just enjoy a stock gun? Yes, is it proprietary internals to an extent? Yes, it's okay. It's okay. It's fine to enjoy a gun as what? You want to put a Gate Titan in here or something? What? It's not an M4. Get over it. Internally, the components for the VFC FAL OSW are no joke. We are talking a full steel trigger assembly, which is really nice. I'm glad that a lot of companies are shifting that way as well, and this one is of course going to be no exception. You do get the steel bolt carrier group as well, which I know is very big positive. The only downside would be a plastic or polymer buffer, which it gets the job done though. I'm not really too upset about that because especially with the OSW, it actually is going to be using a significantly stiffer recoil spring compared to the original full-length FAL, resulting in a much snappier trigger response and faster rate of fire. A lot of gas blowback rifles are going to be a little bit inconvenient and annoying to have to access the hopper chamber, usually by removing the magazine, having to use some type of hex key or specialized tool to really get in there and make your adjustments. But thankfully, VFC fixed that with this design, and underneath where the hop chamber is situated inside of the gun, it's going to be just a little flat screw. All you need to do is apply a flathead screwdriver and apply it at either direction to apply more or less hop as you need it be. Super convenient, very easy, and who doesn't have a multi-tool on them on their kit? The performance of the VFC FAL OSW is honestly the best experience that I've had with gas blowbacks in years. Now, I've never had any sort of issues with them, but this specifically just is so much fun. The recoil that you get from this is nice and pronounced, but it isn't too much where, again, it just feels like uncontrolled or anything. It's airsoft, right? We're shooting 6mm. But it is going to feel incredibly snappy on that trigger. The rate of fire is nice and healthy, much faster than a few other gas blowback rifles that we've shot this year. I just have had so much fun anytime I get an opportunity to shoot this bad boy. Keeping in line with the realism aspect of this gun, the magazine included is going to be a 20-round magazine. Now, could you put more in there? Yes, but is it realistic? Moving on to the efficiency of it, it's actually pretty impressive considering you are still running steel internals on here, it's got a heavier bolt in here, and it's still able to go ahead and expect 2 mags worth of shots before you need to refill with more green gas and still get it to lock back as well. Pretty solid and impressive, all things considered. Going over the specs for the VFC FAL OSW, one can expect to receive an FPS reading of about 370 to about 400. That's going to be measured, of course, with a regular can of green gas in addition to 0.20 gram BBs. The rate of fire was going to be anywhere from 13 to about 15 RPS. Bear in mind, when we did our tests, it was in a temperature-controlled environment, and your results might fluctuate depending not only on the ambient temperature around you, but also of the temperature of the magazine. In regards to range and accuracy, the VFC OSW has no problem with being able to reach out and touch man-sized targets at approximately 200 feet away when using the heavier BBs. It really hits that sweet spot when you start getting into like the higher 3s, maybe even up to 4.0 BBs. However, if you do want to squeeze more range and accuracy out of this bad boy, I would recommend swapping out both the inner barrel and bucking, as they're both standard VSR cut. But we all know that if you want to get the absolute best peak performance from your FAL, you must be wearing Rhodesian brushstroke. This about brings us up now to the price point of this bad boy. Now, what exactly are we looking at? The VFC FAL OSW gas blowback rifle on AirSoftREPLICA's website currently retails for $649. That is a pretty hefty price tag, I won't lie, but just hear me out for a second. I've always loved the FAL platform. It has been my favorite rifle platform to this day, hands down. Anytime it was an option that was offered in a video game, I always picked it and I tried to run with it as much as I possibly could because I love the platform. It's so unique, it's got a lot of history behind it, and VFC has done a really good job in capturing that FAL essence. And more importantly, they put it in a really cool configuration. In my opinion, the coolest configuration is the OSW. Everything that you would want from an FAL is there, in addition, of course, to all the modern features you would expect for a viable option for any player to be able to use. Now, this is a quality gas blowback rifle. It's not just a regular replica. This is a very high quality replica that has the performance to boot as well. So any player looking for performance can definitely be happy with this option. But I know for a fact that anyone out there that is looking for something different, something to break the mold from the tried and tired old M4 AR platform, is gonna really enjoy this breath of fresh air. And especially all those FAL enthusiasts out there, this is going to be the coolest airsoft gun that you will ever own, and it's going to be so satisfying to bring this out in the field and start running with it. I guarantee it. But that's just my personal opinion. Let us know what your guys' thoughts are about this as well. Do you like the OSW, or do you prefer the classic Cold War classic, the old school 20-inch barrel version? Let us know what your thoughts are. I'm genuinely curious to hear what you guys have to say. Make sure not only that, you hit that bell icon, you subscribe so you're notified every time we drop new content on the channel. Remember, the most direct way to support the channel is to get all your airsoft goodies from airsoftgi.com. It'll keep the cameras rolling, these lights on, and these videos coming. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Hope you guys take it easy. Stay safe out there.